Welcome to the Real Film Nerds
Harvest Horror Fest.
Welcome, boys and girls. Is that how we're saying it now, Matt?
Yeah, but probably not as creepy as that. you sound like the guy pulling up in the kidnapper van that says free hugs and candy on the side of it.
Well, Matt, that does kind of go with our October theme that we're going into, which is the Harvest Horror Fest. And for this year's annual extravaganza, we're going to talk about one of my favorites, a 40-year-old movie, Poltergeist.
Now, Mike, do you know how many Harvest Horror Fest this is?
I think this is our 4th annual Harvest Horror Fest.
5th.
It's our 5th?
It is our 5th Harvest Horror Fest, Michael.
Wow. And for those keeping track, this is episode 292.
Which, that's nobody, except for me and you.
No, there's a few people, Matt. Come on.
Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to do the breakdown?
Just talk about, the stars, just the breakdown, dude. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, you're the boss on Halloween Horror Fest. Halloween. See, I fucked it up.
Oh, you
Harvest
messed it
Horror
up, Matt.
Fest. It's okay. Lisa calls it the Horror Harvest Fest, and I'm like, no, it's Harvest Horror Fest. And then there was, listen to the radio. You're not gonna hear it because it happened live. But there was some freaky ass shit going on when I was recording today. The lights flickered, and then my mom's call, like when they were playing my mom's recording, it cut off and just dead aired. And she's like, "Holy shit, what just happened?" I'm like, "I hope you didn't say it on the air." And then we went to record another segment just saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened," and my microphone wouldn't turn on. This all happened in a period of 20 minutes.
Wow, dude. Maybe it's the Poltergeist curse.
The radio station is definitely haunted. And she admitted it. She's like, "Oh yeah, we have some ghosts here." And they hang out specifically in my studio. And I'm like, oh, you could have told me that before we talked about the movie Poltergeist. But hey, whatever.
Interesting, Matt. Interesting. Well, that'll be fun. So listen on the end of this episode for that.
Yeah, but it's just my mom's review because I have them recorded and it'll just run normally, so you won't hear any of the stuff going crazy. But I'm just explaining that's what happened live. It was interesting.
Okay.
So anyways, all right, here we go, Mike. Here we go. So today we're talking about the 1982 blockbuster Poltergeist. It is directed by, I believe, Tobe Hooper. I think that's how you pronounce that. Tobehooper. It is written by Steven Spielberg, who did the screenplay. Mike Gracious? I don't know. See, now I'm screwing them up like you. Grice?
Yeah, Matt. Now, does that mean
Michael
they drink
Grice.
1 or 2?
I've said it like 3 times, so that's at least 4 or 5 drinks. Michael Grice and Mark Victor. Oh, I got that one. They all did the screenplay. Isn't the story by Steven Spielberg?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nominated for 3 Oscars, but it stars Jo Beth Williams, Heather O'Rourke, my buddy Craig T. Nelson, and Beatrice Straight. And here's a little something. They got a hell of a description. It's a long one. Everybody buckle in. A family's home is haunted by a host of demonic ghosts. Whew. I almost screwed that one up.
Boom. There goes the dynamite.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, Mike, so does that mean you get to do the giveaway too? No, probably not. You don't have the email.
I don't have the email, Matt.
Okay. Well, go ahead and continue. Hostess with the mostest. Miguelito Mysterious.
All right. So I just wanted to welcome the listeners once again back to the Harvest Horror Fest. And so what we kind of do on this one is we just go through some horror movies and we talk about the various different things about horror movies that I love. So that's, breast, beast, and boobs.
Hold on. You already said breast, though. Or are you talking about the breast that you eat?
Oh, blood.
Okay.
Yeah. So out of on those 3 categories, this movie really only has 1.
No, there's some, I guess there's kind of some beasts. There's definitely a little bit of blood.
I don't know if there's I don't know if there's really that much blood.
There's not a lot.
Okay, you're right. There's that scene with the face.
Yeah. Oh, where he pulls his face off and it looks like a Jello mold. That was some of the worst special effects, even for the '80s. That was pretty bad.
Okay. Well, Matt, we'll get into that.
Yes, sir.
We'll get into that.
Please don't hit me again.
So I guess, Matt, watching this movie now again recently, what are your initial opinions? Obviously, special effects on that one scene.
Well, the special effects, I mean, it's 1982. This film is almost older than you, Mike. Now, it's older than my younger sister. The special effects for the time and place actually were pretty good. That's the only complaint I have is the dude pulling his face off. All the shit moving around, all the shit spinning, all the, the creepy ass clown, the house, all of it was on par. It was very good for 1982. The story's very good. The acting is good. It's dated, it's 1980s dated. One thing, I started out my radio show interview with this. Do your due diligence. Talk to your realtors. You got that inspection period. Do your due diligence. Make sure you're buying a home that is not on a cemetery.
I agree, Matt. I think most people should likely not live on a cemetery, especially one that they didn't really go all the way and they were supposed to move that stuff, but they just moved the headstones.
I don't give a shit if they move the whole thing. I would not buy a home on a cemetery. With my luck, it would be haunted just like this, if not worse.
Anyway, Matt, so I don't know. I guess since this is an older movie, do we worry about spoilers? I don't know.
No,
what do you think for this one?
No. We just keep going. Because I've already spoiled that it's on a cemetery and all that other shit. So now we're done. We just keep going.
Okay. So, Matt, there in this movie, I felt the special effects were okay. There was some stuff with the lighting and things I thought was a little wonky.
Like the strobe lighting from the TV?
Yeah, the strobe lighting, I guess. I don't know. It was pretty flashy, man.
It was.
It has a warning.
Yep, it really was. You couldn't do it probably today.
Yeah. I was like, wow. It did flash a lot. We watched this at night. It flashed a lot. Mags doesn't really like watching horror movies, but she kind of watched it kind of over the shoulder. One thing that I will credit Mags with here is she watched it, and I was watching it with sound, and she was watching it without sound, and she was like, you know what? Wasn't scary without the sound.
Oh. Well, and that's one of the things that won an Academy Award for is the sound.
Yeah, the sound in movies, we've said this many times, is very important to the movie. I mean, what would Jaws be without the soundtrack, or what would The Wars be without it? Star Wars.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, it would not be anywhere the level of production and film that it is today. I mean, John Williams is the man. He just is.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he wasn't on this, but I think it's because he was doing E.T.
Yeah, the timing is interesting on this. 82. There's a lot of Star Wars call-outs in this, and I looked it up and trying to figure out. So there's a lot of call-outs specifically to Empire. And yeah, they got it right. There's the tauntauns and, posters and all kinds of other fun things. I'll stop talking about the wars. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Matt, was that a light switch? Was that a C-3PO light switch that's in the corner there?
I think so. There was a lot of really cool stuff that they destroyed that's probably worth a lot of money now.
Yeah, there was a lot of Star Wars stuff, but I mean, think about it. It's 1981. It was probably filming.
Yeah, probably filming in 81. Yeah, because it came out in June or July of 82.
June, I believe. Yeah.
So it was a summer film. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess back to my 3 Bs: blood, breast, and beast. There's definitely a beast. Kind of, but it's not really ever shown. It's more in the background and more invisible most of the movie, except for a couple appearances of I don't even know how to describe it, a face, kind of.
Yeah, it's there's definitely a creature but it's more of an implied creature. And then there's some horror things here and there, like skeletons and, skulls and stuff like that, and ghosts. But that's not the main poltergeist, in my opinion. I think you don't ever see him. He's just implied, or she.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this a little bit more creepy too, because it is kind of just implied.
Right.
That, and it stole a little human girl, but
I'm just trying to figure out what universe this is where they're caked in Jello. I mean, clearly, this is where Ghostbusters 2 got the pink slime idea, and the bathtub.
Okay, all right. Well, I was wondering if this is where Stranger Things got the upside down, because it's kind of got some upside downy things.
Yeah, well, especially falling through the living room. Yeah, and the rope that went. Yeah, it's definitely inspired Stranger Things for sure.
Yeah, so I think they took some elements of this. This is '80s movie. This is very '80s. Just I don't know, just the TVs and stuff. I don't know, man. It's weird sometimes to watch some of these movies that are in the '80s and remember all that stuff.
Well, yeah, because that's what we grew up in. I remember it didn't last too long. They started realizing that people still watch TV at 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in the morning. But I remember when I was real young that, they played the national anthem at the end of their broadcast, and then it just cut to snow. Now, they stopped that quickly because they were starting to realize people still watch reruns and everything else. So now, you never get that. But that truly was what it was back then.
Yeah, I don't think I ever remember seeing that happen, but, I sleep fast, Matt.
Yeah, no, not jealous at all. Hashtag I was up until 4 last night. What?
Oh, man. Don't you mean pound, Matt?
Hashtag pound, whatever. Pound me too. Uh-oh.
I don't think that's exactly what that means.
No, probably not. Probably crossed the line there. So, speaking of crossing lines, Mike, we have a giveaway.
All right, dude. What do we got?
So, Mike, our good friends over at Paramount are giving us a handful of Redbox rental codes for a brand new film that just came out in September. A little late on doing the read and getting everything out, but we're busy. We had the Prescott Film Festival and the film last week, and this came in a little sluggish, but is what it is. Mike, this is for a thriller called The Infernal Machine. Did you see the trailer for The Infernal Machine there, Mike?
I did see the trailer. It looks like a good one, man.
It definitely looks like a film that you would enjoy. It's a thriller. It's almost on the borderline of horror, at least from the trailer. So, go ahead, write in, email, Mike at realfilmnerds.com, and tell him what your favorite Harvest Horror Fest film has been over the past 5 years, to be entered in our contest to get a free copy of The Infernal Machine.
Oh, Matt, dude, that's a good question for our listeners to answer. So, yeah, that'll be fun.
And just to let everybody know, just because you email Mike doesn't mean he'll respond. Steve.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll get back to Steve.
Anyways, all right, here we go. The Infernal Machine. Let me get to the business. Guy Pearce, Alice Eve, Alex Pettyfer, and Jeremy Davies star in a psychological thriller about obsession and deceit. A reclusive author must confront demons of his past when an obsessed fan looking for answers forces him out of hiding. You can buy or rent The Infernal Machine and watch it today. It is currently rated R. Well, they're not going to change the rating. It's rated R, and it's from our good friends. Dude, they're just always killing it. I'm happy to support them. I'm happy to give them money. Paramount Pictures with the Paramount Plus. I just, they've taken care of us. I take care of you guys. So anyways, there you go. There's our read on it. You know what to do. Email Mike what your favorite Harvest Horror Fest film has been, and you might get yourself a copy of a free movie. So anyways, all right, Mike, on with the show. I see you pulled out your book, but you're kind of jumping the gun there, sir.
I am jumping the gun, man. Infernal Machine sounds good. But you know what else sounds good, Matt? I think a nice frosty beverage of your favorite fall beer. So, Matt, what are you drinking this morning, evening, afternoon?
Well, Mike, I'm not drinking my favorite fall beer. I'm just celebrating. So I am drinking champagne of beers, a Miller High Life.
Oh man, you must have closed on a big one. You only drink the High Life when you're living the High Life.
No, I haven't closed on anything. It's the start of a new chapter of my life and career. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh, all right. Well, here's the +1 on chapter. I don't know what chapter you're on, so it's just a +1.
If I go with age, I mean, it's all kind of correlating. The fall, it's around my birthday. It's a lot of change. So I don't know what chapter this technically would be. I'm 41.
Okay, so 42.
No,
the answer to everything.
This would be the start of chapter 41.
Oh, okay. 40 +1, 41.
Mike, what beer are you drinking?
I am drinking it's just called Pumpkin Ale, and it's from Aldi, and it is fantastic.
Dude, that's like your favorite place to buy beer now is Aldi.
Well, it's reasonably priced, and it's a good beer.
Okay, all right. Don't jump down my throat. God, Mike. Jeez.
Sorry.
No, I'm just messing with you. You never get offended, and I'll work on that.
Okay. All right. You keep working on getting me offended.
Okay, so here we go, Mike. Your favorite part of the podcast. What is today's just absolutely dreadful dad joke?
I got dad jokes. I don't think they understand though. Gotta think I'm funny. Other people never laugh though. Dad jokes.
All right, Matt. What do you call it when 4 bullfighters fall into quicksand?
Break out the barbecue?
Quattro Cinco.
Okay, all right. That's okay.
Yep, I went there.
You did. All right. Okay.
All right, Matt. Since our format's kind of all thrown off with the Harvest Horror Fest, I'm just going to start busting out some trivia, Matt.
Well, do you want me to ask you your question? And I don't know if you got it answered or not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, ask me.
Okay, Mike. So how does Poltergeist relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, Matt. This one was a little harder than I would have liked. Because, Steven Spielberg hasn't done anything for the MCU yet. And then I was like, well, maybe Kathleen Kennedy. But no, she's all involved with Star Wars and a lot of movies that Spielberg's made. So I kept digging, and I eventually found the sound designer for this movie also worked on Captain America, the First Soldier, or the First Avenger.
First Avenger, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, this person's Stephen Hunter Fleck.
Good job, Mike. You did it. Good job. It chaps my ass every single time I see Kathleen Kennedy's name on a film, especially stuff like this. Just like, what did you do? Why did you just rape Star Wars? Why? Okay, I'm going to stop talking about Star Wars because I've already done it once. We're going to go. Mike, ready, set, give us trivia about Poltergeist.
All right, Matt. So earlier you were talking about how there was all kinds of weird things that happened when you were on the radio trying to talk about this movie. Well, this movie has a bit of a reputation of being cursed. And what ended up happening is several of the cast ended up dying shortly after this movie.
That's pretty freaking creepy.
Yeah. Heather O'Rourke, the little girl, Carol Ann Freeling, died just a few years after this movie. And then
From what?
She had some sort of problem, like an intestine problem or something.
That's weird.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll tell you what. She died of intestinal stenosis at the age of 12.
Huh.
And the other young lady in this movie, the sister, Dominique Dunn, who played Dana Freeling, she was murdered by her boyfriend on October 30th
Wow.
of 1982, I think.
Like right after the film.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
And then one other person passed away, and they were murdered as well, but it was much later. Kind of creepy. Also, the pool scene with the floating like skeletons and all that.
Yeah, the caskets. Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are all real.
What?
Yeah,
They couldn't get
It
fake
was-
skeletons?
I guess it was cheaper.
It was cheaper. We'll just go dig up some bodies. It's cool. Well, no wonder people are dying. I mean, Jesus. You can't do that to the dead. That's just wrong.
Yeah, so those are real. Another thing that's interesting about this movie is, even though it's credited that Tobe Hooper directed it, people really say that Spielberg directed it, Steven Spielberg, because he wrote it and he wanted to do this, but he was filming E.T. and he kind of was doing double duty. He did both, and apparently he had his hands very tightly on this movie.
What other trivia do you have for us? Or are you done with trivia?
Oh, I got a couple things.
Okay.
Let's see.
Or what else do you want to talk about the film other than trivia? I mean, I think we pretty much covered it. You liked it.
Yeah. No, I like this movie. I hadn't seen it in a long time, and it was interesting to see it because it kind of has two endings. It kind of felt like it was over
Yeah. Okay.
when the one lady's like, "I declare this place clear."
Yeah. Zelda Rubinstein. I swear to God, I thought she was in Wizard of Oz. She just looks really familiar.
Yeah. But then the movie kind of keeps going for like another 15 minutes or something. And you're like, well, what's gonna happen? And it's kind of like a slow burn, really, like because nothing really happens.
Until it really happens.
Yeah, until it really happens. And then I guess one other trivia thing, Matt, is two of the things that scare the boy in the movie, the clown and the tree, were childhood fears of Steven Spielberg.
Dude, that clown was creepy as shit, even before they made it look all evil.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Why would you even have that? What do you do with that?
I don't know. And it's not the first time you see a clown like that in movies, but it's just like, holy crap.
Yeah, and then there was one part in the movie where I was like, being a parent now, and they're talking to the dad, and he's telling, like, how old's your wife? And she's 32. And how old's your daughter? She's 16. And I was like, wait a second. That means she was 16 when he had her.
Yeah, well, maybe people just were fast and loose in the 80s, Mike. Or that would have been 70s.
It would have been like late 60s, right? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, okay.
And they were.
That makes sense then.
So there we go. Everything's
we
fine.
got it figured out. It took a minute. Our brains are old. Give us a break, people.
Yeah, but this movie really didn't have that much blood. Just that one scene with the face, like you were talking about. It kind of reminded me of that scene in Indiana Jones where like the guy face melted off.
Yeah, but that was way better done.
Yeah, it wasn't as good though. And then I don't know. There's no nudity really. Like I don't remember. Like no.
My mom nailed it. Craig T. Nelson doesn't have a shirt on for the first part of the film, and my mom loved that. They're sitting there smoking the reefer in their master bedroom, and he doesn't have a shirt on.
Oh yeah, Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
My mom nailed that. She talked about it on the radio. She's like, he's no Jason Momoa, but she still enjoyed it.
That's funny. How many? What is her rating system? Matt?
Cookies.
Smiles. Oh, cookies. How many cookies did your mom get?
She gave it 4. My mommy loves herself some horror, I guess. I don't know. She saw this in the theaters.
Wow.
So maybe that's why I'm so traumatized. No, she wouldn't have taken me to the theaters. That would have been ridiculous. Not that young.
Shoot, man. Have you seen what people do at the theater, Matt?
I try not to think about it. That's why I go late.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I've seen. It's become weird now, being a parent. I've seen people before when I was attending theaters, before I was a parent, bring in their children and then like watch a movie like a young child and watch like some crazy violent movie. And I'm like, what the crap, man? Because it's loud and like I don't know. Can't even do it, man. Although I did take our son to a movie when he was pretty young during the pandemic, but we had headphones. He had earmuffs on.
It was different.
And
it was different.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was Jaws. So
That's fine. He likes fish.
yeah, he does like fish.
Well, I told you about when Deadpool came out in the theaters and my whole family went to watch it on like Christmas. It was like around Christmas or something. And this family walks in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my God. And the kids were just running around, playing, having all kinds of fun, watching. I mean, it's Deadpool. And they really, ratcheted it up for Deadpool 2. They really did. The raunchiness and the murder. And they weren't like 2 and 3 year olds. They were like 6, 7, 8, 9 area.
Oh, man.
But yeah, people suck. So, okay, Mike, I gotta get this out. I wanted to say it earlier, but you're the host, so I let you run. I just got to give a huge shout out to Helen Stevenson, Prescott Film Festival. She gave me a pass. I got to see a bunch of movies. I didn't go to all of them. That just would have been way too much time in my life. I made it to 4 films, which is a lot more than I typically watch in a week. And it was a nice little experience. I have to say the one that I like, there was also a bunch of short films too, but the one that I really, really liked was actually the foreign film. And it was a drama based around a book from World War II. And it was called Chess Game / The Royal Game because they're having naming issues with it. So they're changing the name to Chess Game from The Royal Game. But it was a very, very good film. But I saw a good mix. I saw a documentary. I saw the drama. I saw a comedy. And I think I saw, 2 documentaries. And then a bunch of short films. And the short films were some of them were really actually quite good. But I wish I would have made more on Saturday, but I had quite a bit going on Saturday. And Saturday they started at 10 a.m. and they ended at probably 10 p.m. And I had a busy day without seeing movies on Saturday.
Oh, man. Well, that's really cool, man. I'm glad you got to go see a couple movies. Did you get a chance to see the iPhone movie with the old guy?
Yeah, so that was opening night. And I'd highly, highly recommend that. And Mike, it's real interesting. It was shot and filmed in Miami. The guy that wrote the film and directed the film has never done movies before. He lives in Miami. It's based on his family and his true life. And he got this killer cast. It's Sean Astin plays him. And it's really a good, fun, heartfelt comedy. And that's what they opened the film festival with. And it's called I, Mordecai. And now it's not called I, Mordecai because the iPhone. It's kind of a pun. But he said his dad really does this because the director flew out here during the hurricane that was going on over there. He's like, my wife is at home in Boca dealing with this hurricane. And I'm over here in Arizona just loving life. That's pretty funny.
Nice.
But his dad, when he would introduce himself, because his dad was from Austria, during World War II, during the Holocaust. He was 6. And when his dad would introduce himself to people, he still does. He's still alive. He says, "I'm Mordecai." That's how he introduces himself.
Huh.
So he like come up to you and be like, "Hi, I'm Mordecai."
Gotcha.
And so it just
all right.
worked because he gets an iPhone. They don't say it's an iPhone because they don't have branding, but it's iPhone.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it's really cute, and it changes his whole life and everything. But it's going to open up. This is probably the 4th or 5th showing ever on it. It's going to open up across Florida, and if it does well in Florida, then they're going to open it up nationwide.
Oh, okay. Real cool, man.
So yeah, I highly recommend that one as well. It was fun. All the ones I saw were really good. The documentary about the long rider riding a horse from Canada to Brazil, and then from Brazil to the bottom of South America, and then from Alaska down to Canada. It's insane. He was in his 20s.
Dude, that is insane.
It took him 8 years to do all of it. His first ride, the one from Canada to Brazil, took 2 years.
Wow.
Yep. It was very astonishing. And the kid, I can say kid because he's in his 20s, that did the ride, filmed the whole thing himself, just probably on a phone or a GoPro or something. And the filmmaker just put it all together and created a film. And he asked for a long time he's like, "You got all this footage, let me put a film together." And he did, and it was very good.
Well, that's cool.
So anyways, Mike, what Harvest Horror Fest film, since I guess I'm kind of taking over the podcast again, are we going to talk about next week? Because this is kind of your thing.
All right, Matt. Yeah. So next week, we're going to start with a new release, and it's going to be the remake of Hellraiser that is premiering on Hulu.
You excited for this one, Mike?
I am, dude. Hellraiser creeps me the hell out.
Yeah, I was talking a little bit again on the radio this morning or maybe I wasn't even on the radio. Maybe it was just we were talking. But Hellraiser's one of those films that I just really don't like. Like it's the creepiness of the gore and the torture and the evil voices and the demonic. Maybe it's just because of my religious upbringing or whatever. But Hellraiser always just chills me to the core. It doesn't scare me, but it just chills me to the core. So I'm interested to see how this one goes. I don't know if Ma Hinshaw will be watching this one or not, but we will see if she does.
Okay. Might get a half a cookie. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no milk.
All right, Matt. Well, I guess with that, I can ask you.
I need to end the podcast, right? Not you.
Yeah, but I need to ask you what your rating is.
Oh, shit. Good call. I completely forgot. I just kept rambling about the Prescott Film Festival. Okay, well, I'll go first, Mike. So I give the 1982 horror thriller Poltergeist 3.5 reels out of 5.
Oh, okay. Interesting, man. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 reels.
3? And you love this movie.
I did. I did like it a lot. It was a good one.
I think you're just becoming a mean old man in your old age.
Could be. I've been hardened. I have 2 children, just beating on me every day. So just building up a tough exterior.
Fair enough.
The plaque is forming in my brain.
Is it your brain, or I thought it was your arteries?
I don't know. I'm just going to go my brain.
So then it would be like plaque from your teeth. You can use that you can fix that with a brush and some floss.
Why would I brush when I could do something else? I don't know.
Sleep. Eat. Drink.
Yeah. Be merry.
Be merry. Well, all right, Mike. I think that is it for this episode of the Real Film Nerds podcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget to enter our giveaway for a copy of The Infernal Machine from our good friends over at Paramount Pictures. Go ahead and email Mike at realfilmnerds.com. Next week, Hellraiser reboot, redo, update. I don't know. It's something. I know it's not a remake. It's kind of its own thing, but it's inspired. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's currently streaming on Hulu. It's a Hulu original, which is interesting because it's a Disney product, and they're doing a film like this. But I think it was already in production by the time Disney bought Hulu and Fox. But anyways, all right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Don't forget to get out and check out your movie theaters. They're really struggling. September was the worst month in 3 or 4 years for a September film release. People just are not going to the theaters. I understand, but still, we want to keep those things open. Go watch a movie, stream a movie, watch a Blu-ray, something. Enjoy these films. We know you got the time. Mike and I don't, and we still do this for you. So thank you again, everyone. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next Wednesday with Hellraiser.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
Finally, Matt Hinshaw has arrived to talk about the movies this morning on Magic 99.1. It is the first movie in your Horror Harvest Fest.
Close enough.
What is it?
Harvest Horror Fest.
Harvest Horror Fest. Okay. And,
I didn't name it. FYI, I didn't name it.
Now, if you had named it, what would you name it?
Not anything to do with horror. Would it be a comedy fest or some sci-fi fest or
that's
something?
right, because you're not into horror flicks.
I don't hate them.
Because you're
just
a little
not
scared.
Well,
How tall are you?
6'4".
Yeah, okay.
And I weigh about as much of a small bus.
You could probably take out anything that scared you, like a snake or a spider.
You know, I really
Ghost
don't
goblins.
like snakes
Snakes,
at all.
I hate them.
At all.
Yeah. What about spiders?
I'm okay with spiders unless they're the deadly ones.
Okay.
But then someone still has to deal with them.
Yeah, it's a
Snakes
fact.
are just not my thing. I've gotten several in my home, and
Yeah.
I've never had them in my home until I moved here. So
Okay, that's something. We are in the
they're
desert.
just sneaky.
They are
Well, I've
sneaky.
grown up in the desert.
Okay, should we talk about the movies
Yes,
or
ma'am.
not?
Sorry. Yes, ma'am. I
So,
apologize.
Matt is going to review for us the 1982 horror fantasy flick Poltergeist.
Fantasy flick. I don't know. I think it's real.
Really?
I'll just start it off this way. Being a realtor and watching this film,
Yeah.
you got to do your due diligence.
Yeah.
You just got to do
Right.
it. If your home was built on a cemetery,
Yes.
spoilers,
Yeah.
but if your home is built on a cemetery, you know,
You need to know that.
You need to know
Ask
that.
the questions because they don't
Yeah.
reveal them unless you ask them, right?
no, you got, well, I mean,
You're supposed to.
You got your 10-day inspection period on average.
Okay.
But it's on the buyer. You got to find out. And
gotta
that's one of
ask.
those things. You got to look and see if a cemetery
Okay.
was there where your house was.
Okay, so I saw this movie probably back in 1982. Remind me.
So it's
what's
a
the
movie.
premise?
It's a family that lives in a new tract home subdivision, which
Mm-hmm.
I knew planned communities weren't like super big back then, but it's kind of
Right.
amazing to see this giant sprawling subdivision because it's real back
Yeah.
in 1982 in
Okay.
Southern California, I assume.
Okay.
At least that's where they say. And
Yeah.
they move in and things start happening.
Right, like the little girl talking to the television.
The little girl talking to
Yeah.
the television, the sliding across the kitchen floor.
Yes. Ooh, I've got
The
goosebumps.
clowns talking and spinning their head.
Yeah.
You know, everything being sucked into the closet.
Right.
The tree outside trying to take them down.
The supernatural. Do you believe in the supernatural, Matt?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't
Why
know.
not?
I mean, I've worked in my days of the news media industry.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of newspapers are in very old buildings,
Right.
like turn of the century buildings.
Yeah.
And
Things happen.
when you're there alone, you
Yeah.
hear noises. I'm not lying.
Things go
you
down.
will. I don't know if it's spirits or something, or if it's just because the building's old, but
Right.
you hear stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, tell me, was it as good this time around as it was back then? Because it was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Music Score, but that's it.
It's a pretty good musical score.
Yeah, yeah.
The special effects for being 1982 are really actually quite good.
Yeah.
There's one that's really, just really bad, but they did it
Which one is
practically.
it?
Well,
Which-
there's like this scene where one of the guys that's one of the spiritual inspectors is like sitting like in front of a mirror and he starts pulling like his face off.
Oh, yeah.
And it just looks bad.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a Jello mold
Yeah.
like, coming apart or something. It's just
Okay.
But for the
Okay.
most part, I mean, it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
What I recommend people to watch it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're into
I
horror,
think we've all
just 'cause
already
it's-
seen it, Matt.
I guess. I mean, it's 40 years old.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, just over 40 because it came out in June or July.
Right. Okay.
But I just, it is what it is.
It
I
is
mean,
what
we're
it
just,
is.
and that's why we're reviewing it, because it's
Okay.
his 40th anniversary.
Fair
so.
enough. How many reels you going to give it?
3.5.
3.5.
Just because it's
Just average.
Yeah, it's been years, and I don't want to compare it to stuff today, but it's hard
Right.
not to when I've seen so many.
Okay. All right. Oh, the lights just flicked in here. I
Great.
swear. Did you see that?
Yes, now we're in trouble.
All right. Let's call your mom.
Greetings from Babyland.
Good morning, Grandma Henshaw, Lisa, and Matt calling on Magic. How are you?
Just fine, thank you.
Oh, give that little baby a kiss from me, okay? And a little squeeze.
Oh, I will. She's already sitting up and rolling over and crawling, and she's not 2 months yet.
Oh
so.
my gosh, you guys are in for it. That's a
Oh,
fact. Yeah. Oh, how fun is that? Well, tell me, what did you think of Poltergeist?
I thought it was good. Not as good as Halloween. That one really scared me, but this was a good movie. I highly suggest watching it.
Now, have you seen it before?
Yes,
Yes. How many times?
only once.
Only
before.
once. Okay. All right. And watching it again after all those years, were you just as scared or not so much?
The scary part is really actually middle to the end. And yeah, it was still scary.
Okay.
It was.
Okay.
There were some yipes parts. And the lady that played the medium, the one that, at the end solves the mystery and all,
Yes.
fantastic. She was just great.
Yes.
And it was icky in spots. Oh, and the dad was shirtless in the beginning several times.
Her nudity report.
But he was
Yep,
no
we got her trained.
Jason Momoa.
She loves that Jason Momoa. We were talking about it the other night.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
like,
Who doesn't?
just
Really, Matt? Who doesn't?
I'm just
Oh,
like, Mom, you do realize he's like
absolutely.
my age, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's Matt's age, but we don't care, do we, Ma?
No, I don't care. He's a youngster to me.
Tell me, were there any snoozes by you or any
No,
others in your home?
No,
No, everybody stayed
No
awake for this
snoozes.
one. Okay.
And my daughter said that where the little boy gets pulled under the bed freaked her out
yes.
forever because she watched it the first time.
Right.
And she was scared to death.
Yep, I remember that, and that was very scary. All right, how many cookies you giving it?
I'll give it 4.
4.
Wow.
You were generous. Matt gave it 3.5.
Well, okay, I'm generous.
Yeah, that's all right. That's okay. Well, you go do your grandma duties, and we'll talk to you next week.
It's because of the
Thank you.
shirtless.
Have a good week.
You too, Grandma Henshaw.
On
Bye-bye.
99.1.
That's it. That's the one. She's so
You got her
good.
trained.
I do. I
Like a
really
monkey.
do. I do. Like a
Monkey Ma Henshaw. Yeah.
Don't say that. That's not
Okay.
appropriate.
Sorry.
Okay. So what is the next film in our Harvest Horror Festival?
So it's a remake or a reboot. I'm not sure. It's one of the two.
Okay.
It's coming out this week.
Okay.
It's the new Hellraiser.
Oh, Hellraiser.
And it's a Hulu exclusive.
Oh.
Which is interesting because you know who owns Hulu, right?
Who?
Disney.
Oh.
So to have a movie like this, I think it was probably in production before they bought Hulu. But
Okay.
it's interesting. We'll see, because it's out of the horror films, like I have to say the Hellraiser series is one that I'm just not. Yeah.
You're not into?
No.
What are you into as far as the horror? You know what scared
I
me
like
as
the
a
horror
child?
comedies.
Oh, okay, the horror comedy, like
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's cute.
No, Ghostbusters is not a horror movie. No, it's like Cabin in the Woods. We review that on
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I
Or
love that movie.
the witch. What was that one where they're walking through the woods? The witchcraft.
Hocus Pocus.
No. Where they're it's like a documentary and they're camping.
Oh, Blair Witch Project,
Blair Witch
yeah.
Project. Yeah,
Yeah.
that scared me. Exorcist scared me. Amityville Horror. The book. I never
The
saw
book.
the film because the book was so
Well, they
scary.
made like two or three films.
I know. Well, no. Thank
Ryan
you.
Reynolds is in the remake, I think.
Oh, that might be worth it.
Uh-oh.
All right, you guys, check out the podcast. It's called The Real Film Nerds. Matt, tell everybody what station you are on every Monday morning.
The mysterious Magic 99.1.